Tonight's episode of Cocktales with Tiki King is brought to you by Sound Cow. Remember, Sound Cow, he's lost his mind. Hey, I'll bet you thought that was me all along. I'm gonna turn myself down. Hey, how about a big round of applause for the backup band, which is Tiki King and the Idle Pleasures. Some of them might be out there right now, tuning into the show. You guys out there? Are you? Is anyone out there? Is it just me here drinking alone? For a change. That's right. Whoa, what the going on there? You got the weird kind of face thing for a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. See, this is what, when it's live, sometimes weird stuff happens. Ah! Jesus. Hold on. Okay. I gotta get rid of that. What the? There we go. Okay. Whoa. That was crazy. So there we go. It's live. Live Cocktales with Tiki King. You never know what's going to happen. Whether it's going to go upside down, whether it's just going to shut off, whether there's going to be, who knows? Who knows? A clown, an evil, goddamn evil clown popped up on my face, on my show. Just blowing my whole scene. I don't even know. Should I start over? No. We're gonna push on through. We're gonna push on through. I'm gonna turn the band down a little bit more. Hopefully, not get clown faced again, and press on. Hey, here we are, episode 11. It's 11 weeks we've been doing this. I originally planned on it tanking after Christmas because I figured by then my viewership would be down low enough that, you know, it wouldn't matter. But you guys keep coming here every Tuesday night. Probably just out of curiosity to see if it'll ever get any better. And as I've said before, my pledge to you is that you can keep hoping that every week. So hey, why are we here tonight? Why are we here? Well, to drink, of course. I hope you're all out there having a tasty cocktail. I know that I am. And that's the thing, tasty cocktails. That's what I'm here to talk to you about tonight. That and other things and pop up. Hold on. So, you know, every week, I'm going to let you know a little secret. Come here, just me and you. Not the other people. They can go get pretzels or something. No. Here, you guys, you other people have some pretzels. And we're as friends, we're going to sit and talk for a second. You know, so I was thinking about the show, and I was thinking about, what do? I come here and there's buffoonery and hooliganry and nuttiness, and we have a good time. But I thought, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I mean that in a more, gestalt of life sort of thing. I mean, what am I doing? And it occurred to me, I'm doing this. And I know that seems like a pretty overly simplified answer to things, but that's the truth. I'm here doing this. And yeah, you can. So there you go. That's all you need to know. I'm glad I could be of service. Oh, there goes somebody. Hey, no, so I started thinking, cocktails. There seems to be So there's a bunch of different kinds of people who like to drink, and I'm one of them, and you're one of them, I think, probably. And even if you don't, maybe you're enthusiastic about how all this stuff is done, and maybe the chemistry. Maybe you're a mixologist. Maybe you're like a heavy-duty botanist, you know, out there mixing up flowers and herbs and roots and stuff. But here's the truth, when it comes down to the truth, I'm going to impart the truth on you tonight. So be ready, because when it comes, it might be heavy. So here's the truth, and it's probably not that heavy. Why do we do it? Why do we do it? We do it because we like it. And you know, well, most of you probably have seen me with a Bud Light Lime in my hand, and you go, good God, why would you drink that? And I'll tell you, because I like it. It's good. Yeah, maybe you don't. That's fine. If you don't like it, don't drink it. I will. You know, people say that about, you know, everything that you drink. People say, oh, why would you do that? Why would you do this? Why? You know what? If you like it, drink it. I do have some rules. I do have some rules. There's no such thing as a chocolate martini. That's one of my rules. There's chocolate cocktails, and they're really good. And hey, drink them. If you like chocolate cocktails, that's good. But it's not a martini. A martini has 3 ingredients. It has gin, it has vermouth, and it has olives. And if you take away any of those ingredients, it's no longer a martini. And if you add, no, you can maybe add a dash of bitters. I'm okay with that. You can rinse the glass with Cointreau. I'm even more okay with that. But if you start putting in vodka and an onion, it's not a martini. If you start, I mean, even if you take the olive out, you put in an onion, that's a Gibson. There's a lot of drinks out there, and a lot of them are good, and a lot of them, you know, you like it, you don't, it doesn't matter. Drink what you like. Don't drink what you don't like. If someone else likes it, let them drink it. But that's what this is all about. Because every week I research the cocktails just in case there's something that I don't know, which is rare. But the truth is, you can go out there and there are so many freaking experts. Thousands of them. And everybody will say, well, you know, if you do this, that's wrong. Now, okay, yeah, I just gave you a couple of rules, but that's the thing is there's some things, like the martini rule, it's not a you can't do it rule. It's a don't call it a martini when it's not a martini. Easy enough. So tonight's drink that I have been sampling to make sure that I'm doing it right is the old fashioned. And here's the thing. I was amazed at how many web pages said, why, if you do this, it's an abomination to mankind. If you put fruit in your old fashioned, it's an abomination to mankind. If you muddle your sugar, it's an abomination to mankind. And you should not be drinking, sir. No drinking. And you know, I'd like to invite these people over and make them one of my cocktails and then smash them upside the head with it. Because here's the deal. You know what old fashioned means? It's a term. The old fashioned came from it being an old fashioned cocktail because back in the day, and I wasn't there, but I'm going to say I know anyway, back in the day, most alcohol was nasty. Most of it was nasty. There wasn't 30-year-old scotch. There was a barrel of booze. It hadn't aged yet, and it was nasty. But you drank it anyway because you got to get drunk. And that's the thing. Well, you don't got to. You choose to. But that's the thing is that, you know, good booze is a fairly recent thing. Most cocktails, most of our favorite cocktails came from a time when they were trying to make it so you couldn't taste the booze. And that's all changed. And now we do have fine. We have fine, good whiskeys, and we have good rye, and we have good gin, and we have good everything. There's stuff that is so fantastic you can just sip it by itself at room temperature, and it'll take you to heaven. Swear to God. But that doesn't mean you can't appreciate an old-fashioned cocktail. And what does old-fashioned mean, really? It means that in the old days, they took pretty much any booze you were going to drink, and they put in sugar, and they put in bitters, and they put in citrus fruits, and they put in a bunch of stuff so that you didn't have to know that what you were drinking was kind of like kerosene mixed with rubbing alcohol, because it's what they had. And here's the deal. I know you're thinking, would you just shut up and like make a drink for God's sake? Because we didn't come here to listen to you bitch and grope. We didn't. I gotta rethink that one because there's no combination of those two words that seem remotely okay to use. But so here's the deal. I'm gonna make the old-fashioned cocktail the way I make the old-fashioned cocktail, when I'm going to drink it. Because here's what I like. And you know what? If you don't make it this way, good for you. I hope that's the way you like it. And if I ever make you one, that's another thing. If I'm ever going to make you a drink and you like it a specific way, I'm not going to go, why, sir, using a 3-to-1 ratio in your martini is an abomination. No, I'll say 3-to-1, huh? All right, you like it dry. Good for you. I ain't got a problem with it. But what I'm here to do is if we were at my house and you were my sister, I'd make you a drink and you'd say that I made it wrong. Because that's what usually happens. But you know what? She'll say, we'll drink Bloody Marys, and she'll say, a little bit more lemon, a little more Tabasco. And I'm back there and it's like, 2 years later and I have the thing, and I'm like, here it is. I used the gold leaf around the olives. And she'll be like, do you have silver leaf? Because I hope Jane's watching, because she's just going to hate me now. But, there's nothing in there. Let's get down to business. So here's the deal. What I'm going to be making for you tonight is an old-fashioned cocktail. And there's a whole bunch of recipes out on the internet for how to make an old-fashioned. But I'm going to show you the way that I learned, which may not be the right way, but it's the way I learned, and it's something that I like. And I'm going to share it with you. That's the deal. And then we're going to talk about some other stuff. So what do you need? You need an old-fashioned glass. Old-fashioned glass, kind of like a rocks glass. Some people call rocks glass old-fashioned glass, but they don't call double rocks glass a double old-fashioned glass because it's a double rocks glass. And a double old-fashioned glass is a double old-fashioned glass. This is triple, which you call a bucket. So if you ever go to a bar and you want some booze, say, tell them you want a bucket of something. And they'll either give you more than you asked for, or they'll look at you confused, and either way you win. So, old-fashioned glass. We're going to take that. We're going to throw in 1 sugar cube. Bing! Bitters. I am using aromatic bitters that are... I don't know if I'm allowed to say brands. I'm still confused about that. And I'm putting 4 drops on that sugar cube. And I'm going to let that sit there for a second. And now we get controversial. But I'm going to tell you there's some science behind it. Now, that's good. We got their sugar in there, and it's starting to dissolve a little bit. But it's not going to dissolve unless I put in a boatload of bitters. So, club soda. I read on the old-fashioned webpage about how anyone who puts club soda in their old-fashioned is a cretin. But, maybe I'm a cretin. Do I care? Not really. But here's the deal. Here's the science. I'm putting in enough water in there to basically turn this sugar into simple syrup, which simple syrup we've talked about before. Simple syrup is bar syrup. Is basically sugar dissolved in water. Sometimes you can add different extracts to it. You can add sugar extract, which would make it a lot more sugar syrupy. You can add different flavorings and stuff, but basic bar syrup is just sugar dissolved in water. Now here's why I'm doing this. You're saying, why are you doing that? Why? I'm going to tell you why. Because once you put the booze in here, that sugar is going to stop dissolving. Sugar does not like to dissolve in alcohol. So that's one of the things that some people go, I ordered an old-fashioned, and there was basically it was a booze and there was fruit in there, and then at the bottom was like sand. And that's because the sugar didn't dissolve. One, because the bartender was probably in a big hurry, because faster you serve drinks, the more tips you make. Or they just didn't know that you pour the booze in, it stops the sugar. Stops the process. I'm talking chemistry. This is complicated. Pay attention. CJ, pay attention. So, we've got that. It's all dissolved in there. Now we have a simple syrup. 1 teaspoon of simple syrup. Now into there, we're going to put some other stuff. What we're going to do is put, I'm going to go with 2 ounces of good bourbon. This is my favorite brand of bourbon, as you can see by me having the label. So, now what do we got? We got bitters, we got sugar, a little bit of water, we got good bourbon. Now, here's the part where people get upset because they say, oh, the fruit. Well, you know what? I'm going to squeeze a little bit of orange in there, and then they won't tell you about this in high school. You got to watch my show to learn about this. Take the rind, give it a pinch, and that's going to put some volatile oils in there. It's going to put citrus oils, orange oil. It's going to give it just a little tiny bit extra bitter, but it's going to give it this beautiful floral note that if those of you who are sophisticated, like I am, you will notice that on the nose. So, Now we got booze, we got a little bit of orange, we got sugar, we got bitters. Now we put some ice in there, and I'm going to use my hand because apparently I'm a cretin for using soda water. So I'm going to fill the glass up. Here's the deal. Even though the booze is down the bottom, having that ice in there is a good idea. Here, you can catch it in your mouth. Ready? Did you get it? Okay. So now, more fruit. Look at that. I'm putting a cherry in there. I want to take my bar stirrer, plunk that down there in the goodness. And now here's the thing. I know you're in a hurry. It's okay. We're in a hurry. But I'm going to let that sit for just a minute. I'm going to savor. I want to tell you something else. So I was reading on the internets today about the old-fashioned, and one of the things was that someone claimed to have the original recipe. They said, I have the first printed version of the old-fashioned recipe. And it basically was what I just showed you, except that the first thing that said was to fill an old-fashioned glass with ice. And I thought, so if that's the original old-fashioned recipe, why would it be called an old-fashioned glass? Wouldn't it be called a rocks glass? So, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. I'm listening. What are we thinking? Yeah? Maybe. Okay. So anyway, I think we've waited. I think you've waited. I think this whole thing has gone on possibly far too long already. By half. And add 2 and there we go. That's lovely. Yeah, here's the thing. I've rarely made a cocktail I didn't enjoy. And I've made some bad cocktails. But here's the thing, enjoy it. Having a good time is half the battle. And I mean that in a strictly drunken nonsense sense. But that's the truth, is you know what? I talk about this all the time. Sometimes you gotta just do what you do. You gotta do what you do. Be a man of the street. Make yourself an old-fashioned with fruit. Muddle it if you want to. Put it all in the glass. I've done this before too. I've stuck the fruit and the sugar and the bitters and just smashed the hell out of it with a bar muddler and then strained that into a glass with bourbon and ice. And it was tasty. I liked it. I will say though, I was at a bar in San Francisco and I asked for an old-fashioned, and the guy, he was like, well, I never really made one. I said, okay, well, put in a cube of sugar. And he's like, well, no, I don't have sugar cubes. So he put in a heaping teaspoon of sugar, which was first, I was like, whoa, dude. And then he takes he said, okay, what's that? I said, 2 or 3 drops of bitters. Takes the bitters bottle, right? And he's, oh, well, there's some kind of a thing. And he pops the top off and pours like a half an ounce of bitters into it. And I said, okay, well, pretty much doesn't matter much from this point, but throw in a cherry and fill that thing up with bourbon and we'll probably be good to go. And he did, and I was, and I don't remember much of that night, but I'm going to say that that cocktail was drinkable, because I'm sure I drank it. But here's the deal. Wherever you go, whoever you are, whenever that is, enjoy what you're drinking. And if you don't, find something you do. And if someone gives you the stink eye because you put water in your whiskey, or you put soda in your bourbon, or you put sugar or fruit, or you put an anchovy stuffed olive in your martini, that's okay. Those are variants. Variants are good in my book. But if I was to make this with rum, it wouldn't be an old-fashioned in my opinion. If I was to make it with gin, it'd probably be a sling. And they have names for those cocktails. And now you just learned one. But I've been Tiki King. And you've been out there, I hope, and I'm hoping this whole thing went through, because I have no idea. I could have been talking to myself for however long it's been. But I want to say thank you to everyone out there watching. Thank you to my producer, Maggie. I want to tell you guys, everybody, to go to tikiking.info and check out all the madness there. Go to tikiking.com. Go to the cocktail database. Look around. Find stuff out. Learn. Drink. And with that, I will say good night, good drinking.